Well, I think that, of course, the relevance of the project to the local context is very important. I think all the projects, which makes it very hard for us to choose, have had a very, very strong consciousness of where they were to be applied, what kind of audience they wanted to attract. And in a sense, this is one of the very important criteria, that it is really for and by and informed by, you know, the place and the people that it's supposed to kind of engage with. So I think this is one of the criteria. And then the other thing I think is also a sense of originality in the approach to curating the show. How do you take the material and weave it together in a creative way, while thinking about space, while thinking about didactics, while thinking about graphics, to make it exciting, to make it accessible. So communication and relevance, I think, is perhaps two things that we will be looking for.
Yeah, and again, I would perhaps add, you know, the potential into the future. I think that is also very, very important. Is this something that will help that particular project and the particular curator in the professional development, in the personal development? Is it going to lead to future opportunities? So I think it is much more important to think of, you know, this whole thing of a journey rather than an end product, you know, that it is really one stepping stone into maybe more and bigger projects or different, more challenging projects into the future. And I think that is really the most important thing when you work in education.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I certainly think that the course was extremely successful in terms of, not only in terms of achieving the curriculum, but I think in terms of sowing the seeds for ongoing relationships. I think the idea is to develop a community of curators and thinkers and cultural producers who will rely on each other, who will engage with each other in future projects to come. So in that sense, I think the nucleus has been founded for this community through this course. And it definitely made us realize that the need for more platforms of exchange is definitely there. And this is why we're hoping that in the future, more exchanges, more networks will be coming out of this. And so
I also think one of the main objectives was really to provide a first-hand experience for a very select, smaller group of participants. And I think that was exactly the right decision. I think it is very, very important, especially when you have a lot of guest lecturers, that you can have these in-depth and longer and sustaining conversations and exchanges. And that is simply for logistics also not possible to do the same with a very, very large group. So in that sense, I think the objective to really engage and change the mindset and empower and enable people can only happen when you have these intimate conversations. So in that sense, I think it was based on the feedback also that we got from the participants was really overwhelmingly positive. And I do think that all of them will remember and take what they've learned and what they've reflected on into their practice into the future. So I think it was a wonderful experience.
Indeed.